Hey guys, what's going on? It is D Wood. A lot of you guys know me, and some of you don't. But today we're going to go through some stuff that just is it's gotten to the point where the harassment and the continual phone calls that are getting from this video and this particular person are getting out of hands. The phone calls to my store that are consistently occurring. Every day we get approximately a dozen phone calls, different numbers, different people. Every day we receive more and more reviews, and every day we have someone saying something. And it all stems down to what I call doxing. There is laws that protect individuals and businesses the right to privacy. And the right to privacy stems when someone tries to use a fair use quote in conjunction with a review or a YouTube or Twitter or Facebook post that they think is protected. Now the problem here is you are not protected under fair use all the time. Anything that may be construed as slanderous, defamation, or that you publish can be used in court, and if it is found to be malicious, false, or misleading, you can be held liable for that. The problem I'm having here now is it's went from one thing to another, and the fact that someone is literally obsessed with my store and my business is what's getting upsetting. And I'm going to show you guys on here. We're going to take the webcam down, and I will show you guys what I am talking about. So here's the original video. This is Science Studio YouTube. This is done by a man by Greg Salazar. He's actually changed all of his stuff now to have it just say Greg Salazar. He initially did a video called I Read a Terrible Craigslist Ad. Mr. Salazar, I asked him very nicely one thing, and I initially reached out to him when this video was published because I received a couple text messages about this. You know, people were saying, hey, you know, I just saw this on, Craigslist. The guy, put your information, and I was able to find it. You might want to reach out to him and have him remove it. I said, yeah, I will try to find this guy. And finding information on a YouTube channel is slim to none and very almost impossible. I was able to find his Twitter and Facebook page, and I reached out to Mr. Salazar and I said, sir, could you please at least redact my address in the pictures you used in the video? And his immediate response was, no, I don't have to. And I said, well, I'm starting to get phone calls, blah, 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 trying to explain and be nice and cordial with this guy. And he immediately starts with this legal, attitude and giving me a bunch of legal jargon and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm just asking for a simple blur or, get rid of the address. 99% of other YouTubers do this. And these are YouTubers with much bigger channels. If my fiance, she watches a lot of this makeup stuff. And she watches all these makeup drama channels because she's a makeup artist and enthusiast. They always do not show people's personal and private information, whether it's telephone numbers, address, home information, anything like that. They never ever show it. Even their business address and information. One of the biggest makeup industry people, Jeffree Star, they don't even show his address or information at all because it's that crazy. People are that crazy on the internet. So after reaching out to Mr. Greg, he started, giving me all this, back talk about it, trying to basically validate the reason for having the address and information. And I said, look, at the end of the day, we can agree or disagree at the price of the computer. However, my information is on here. You are slandering me, and you are providing a false and misleading statement about this build. You are professing that it can be built for this price without posting or putting all of the parts, pieces, and other things that do add up in the price. I then said, I need you to please remove this address. If not, you will be sued and we will send out cease and desist letters. He didn't want to do it. You know, the entire time I'm trying to have a cordial conversation with this guy, and he's literally acting like an immature child behind a business. And everybody can call me immature and call me crazy and psycho, but you don't go after someone no reason at all. You don't just pick someone and start saying, hey, I'm going to go after this guy today. It's not right. And any normal person or human being that knows what it's like to run a business or has their life and a lot of money invested in their business would not just allow someone to walk all over them and just lay down and just take it. You're going to fight for your passion, you're going to fight for your business, and you're going to ensure that your business is always upheld in the most respectable way. Now, that was it. You know, he was responding with little GIFs and emojis and just really irrelevant, bullshit, childish things. We had a couple Twitter, back and forth shit, and, it was just whatever. At that point, I was just annoyed. I knew that getting through an individual who has no absolute thought process on how to run a business, and that thinking his YouTube channel is a very, very valid business, does not know how to run a business. Until you've stemmed into a brick and mortar location and you've, accumulated bills, you have employees, you have withholding taxes, you have IRS, you have, all this other stuff that is included in running a business, it's really not as easy as you think. And now that moves me on to the end of this. We literally dropped it. I did file a privacy complaint on that video April of 2018. That is something I have admitted, I have been very transparent about, but I have never lied about. We let it go. We moved on. We received about a dozen one-star reviews, and it was just like, okay, obviously there's always going to be a few people that don't care. But then, a year later, we come out March 12th, 2019. He starts it off by saying, he was threatened with a lawsuit, but then he starts going into how he received a privacy complaint, which was the whole reason for this video, because he claimed that he received the privacy complaint and now he's getting, his channel's going to get taken down and all this other crazy stuff. But here's the thing. He received a privacy complaint, but he didn't receive a privacy strike, nor a strike on his channel. YouTube issues strikes and all that information. And if the information is not fully validated and the person issuing the strike does not validate their information, uploading their driver's license, some form of government ID, and how the video in particular shows your information, they cannot issue a strike, nor would he receive a strike. Now, why make a second video? Well, everybody's saying he has a right to, but is it worth it in the long run? Because right now, he created the second video. And then that brings us to, well, why did you sue him? The whole purpose of the lawsuit and the reason why I filed this lawsuit was for this second video right here. The minute he published this second video, I received hundreds of false reviews. I received dozens and dozens and dozens of phone calls to my store saying, how dare you try and sue a YouTuber, blah, blah, blah. And then it just kept going, and it was a ripple effect. And I let it sit for a couple minutes. We took a couple days, we took a couple weeks to see where this was going to go. And I was waiting to see if it would die down like the previous video, because the other video just died down immediately. It was maybe like a week or two of it, and then it just died. It was nothing. It was irrelevant at that point. The only reason why he's gaining so many views on that original video is because he's piggybacking all of his videos to that video. So this video was made, the second video, and we said, okay, we're going to take legal action now if this video does not cease, because I didn't issue a privacy strike. I did threaten you with a lawsuit in 2018, but not 2019. Nothing has ever been said to you for almost a year now, and you come out of the woodwork like you're CNN or some breaking news reporting agency, letting the public know that you were sued, almost sued. No one gives a shit. Everybody is sued every day. Hundreds and thousands of business owners file lawsuits or are getting sued. And that's just the nature of the game. If you're going to be a business owner, you're going to have legal repercussions for things you say or do as a business owner. Now, if I did something and I was making a video slandering Mr. Salazar or going after him in ways that were misleading or out of context or could cause reputational damages to him, then I would be held liable for that. Now, then, after we had reached out to Mr. Salazar and provided very good proof, beyond reasonable doubt proof, he did not like it. And when we did this, it was not a he said, she said. It was, I have the proof, Mr. Salazar. Here it is. I was able to give him all the proof showing that it was not me that filed this privacy complaint. And he refused to take that information and use it properly. I explained many times to Mr. Salazar about this. He refused to remove the videos and he continued on. So then we finally had to take legal action against Greg Salazar and Science Studio YouTube. Mr. Salazar did not like this. He even then made to further publish my information, my business address, and where my store is located. He used a couple weird articles that make no sense, LA Times, Minnesota Law Review. It got 1 million views. And the funny thing is, the new house he has was paid for by me. A particular YouTube channel with 1 million views on a channel with monetization, he probably brought in about $2,500 to $3,000 each video from me. So his house is paid for in courtesy of my store and the slandering and the shit he put me through. And I explained to Mr. Salazar very deeply a personal level of things, and he chose to put those personal things in a video and show his audience, which is a sick, sad move of a YouTuber, to basically gloat and publish material about someone's death of their son, in proceeding to publish it on a platform that he knows his buyers and his viewers are extremely harassing, manipulative, excessive, and crazy. He took this information and posted it on his channel. People made fun of the fact that I lost my son. People made Facebook pages about my son because of this guy who sat there and published it on his channel. Published my personal information for no reason. You don't just put people's information just to make a video about it. It's called morals. It's called right from wrong. Anyone with a good heart and a good background or was raised right would not just sit there and say, you know, I think I'm going to go and keep slandering this family, even though I know they're losing their son and they're going through hard times. I think I'm just going to keep going after them. I think I'm going to keep making a video about them. I think that, you know, if I keep doing this, this, and this to them, you know, they're a small business. It'll work out. You know, I'll make good money from it. This is all drama. It's not right. And it's simple. It's called ethics. You don't do that. Ethically, it's not right. So now, this is the kind of stuff that came about because of this guy. Someone made a Facebook page about my son, sent me a message. Gee, Dad, all you had to do was not scam people with computers. Now I'm dead because the trolls made Mom so stressed out, and it's all your fault. Is that really something a YouTuber should be proud of? Is that really something that you want to say, yeah, I made a video about some computer store and I got millions of views out of it. It was pretty good. Like, your house is paid for by the death of my son and the slandering of my child, in my business, in my family. I was receiving death threats about people murdering and raping my wife. and killing her and killing my unborn son inside of her. Pages, many pages were made, not just one, but dozens. People literally kept making pages about my son, about my business, about my family, my store. New model we just rolled out. We call it Dustin Ellenwood Jr. $6,000. If you don't like it, go get a budget casket from Wally World that'll break in 5 months. Took pictures from my personal page. Use them. More messages sent to my store. Message, pro tip, Stressian effect. Google it. Last warning, back off or get a visit from the IRS. We are watching you. We know where you are. We know who you are. And most importantly, we know how much you make and how much you are not reporting to the IRS. Consider securely shredding your trash. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Our judgment is swift and absolute. Another page made. This is not the kind of stuff that you should want to promote, let alone have on a channel. And this is a good comment from Cube Matrix. He said, to be honest, you can't expect to take everything into a private level after you've chosen to make it public. This is to condone people for being jerks, but rather to shed some clarity on the fact that one can't throw pearls at pig and expect them to react properly. So the problem is, you take stuff and you publish it on the internet and there's repercussions for it. So the whole purpose for this lawsuit was exactly for this. Here's another page made about my son. Oops, sorry Dad, I died. Next time don't get a baby at Wally World and have it break in 24 hours and cry. This is a review left by a guy named Gabriel. Grow up, Dustin. Glad your son doesn't have to live with you anymore. I'm just pulling all these up so you guys can see what has all been posted. Here's another comment. It says, come over today and we'll throw in a $6,000 computer with every tiny fetus coffin you buy. He replies back to a comment that was left, I'm not Brian, I'm here because of Science Studio. If Dustin drops his frivolous lawsuit, this page comes down. So at the end of the day, this is just some of the stuff that I've received. Hi Dad, I'm dead, LOL. That's what you get when you get a baby at Wally World and have it break in 24 hours and cry. People made pages pretending to be me. Even ran active ads about this. Another page. Record, scratch, freeze frame. Yep, it's me. I'm in hell. You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, it started when my dad tried to scam people with a computer for $6,000. Those are just some of the things that we've had to get because of this. And it's not just a, it's just a few. It's quite a few dozen that we've gotten in just pages made. Just in pages made, we've had more than a dozen made about my store. There's been pages made about me. There's been pages made about my son. These are just some of the calls I've gotten.
Praise computers.
Hello? Tickle your feet.
Praise computers.
Hello. My name. antics. I'm just going to get that off my chest because they're a bunch of fucking retards. You lose your biz if you fucking dying hell, you fucking cocksucker. Hope your fucking wife gets fucking raped, you die in a fucking horrible car crash. Monday. $6,000. And then you tried to sue that guy who called you out? Oh my goodness. Do know one thing. If I ever go to Indiana, I'll have to stop by your shop to see what a bunch of morons look like. Cheers. $1,000 computer station cost $2,000. Call it that.
So this is just some of the calls that we've gotten. I've got so many more. I mean, it's sad because the amount of calls we have and that we've received, and I can't even keep track of it. I've got over 64 gigs of recorded phone calls, recorded messages, voicemails, video of people coming to my store and throwing things at it. And this is all stemming because someone wants to post someone's personal and business information on a platform where his viewers are very manipulative, aggressive, psychotic. I mean, if we can just go through and think about this, you're upset and you reviewed me because you thought my PC was overpriced. Okay. Valid. That is your opinion. That is your right as an American. That is your First Amendment right to just talk. However, when you take that and you spin it and say, okay, he's overpriced, he's selling overpriced computers, he's a dickhead, he's a bully. But who's the real bully here when you're going after someone and you're literally tearing that person down and making not one video but 5 videos, and you're not making one Facebook status, you're making like 4. And the other day I got a message and I got called, one of my friends called me and he said, hey, did you see what Salazar posted? And I said, no. I said, why? He's like, well, he made another video about you. And I said, why? I don't understand what you're talking about. Well, what he did was he took the video that he had originally made about me, and he took that video and made 2 videos. So he originally on Facebook, he had uploaded the lawsuit update. It was updated September 7th. He posted it. Don't know why. He already posted on YouTube, he posted on Facebook. I get it. You got to post it on all your avenues and, media streams and everything. So then I was looking at it. I'm like, this isn't a new video. It's the same video. He literally just took it and re-uploaded it on his Facebook page, but as a non-linked video. He just basically uploaded it from there instead of sharing a YouTube link. And a lot of people, kind of called him out about it. They're like, why did you re-upload it? This is not new. Why the name change? People were kind of catching on, They're like, what is this? And I think people are catching on because the views are going down. The amount of subscribers he's getting is going down. And I think this is starting to take a toll on him. He made more money and had more views with the videos he did about me. He made more money and had more views with the things he did and created about me. And here's one of the this is his channel, where he's talking about everything, and then someone put, this is not new, why the name change? People asking about different questions. So it's kind of weird what the whole reasoning is behind this. And, it's like, I get it. You got to get your views, you got to make your money. But at the cost of a family and a small business, that's how you're going to make your money? Is that how you're going to be known? Oh, he's that YouTuber that went after that business out of Indiana, Grace Computers. But here's the thing. Every time I try to talk, or I try to give my side of the story, because right now it's just a one-sided story at this time. It's just him. And every time I try to say something, I get bullied and basically blackened out by this guy. He uses his audience as a bullying tool for him. Or he'll sit there and literally go after you on Twitter or Facebook to the point where you're just like, you know, I'm done. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to, and I'm done with that, you know. We're going to cut the bullshit aside and we're going to talk man to man. You come after my family, you come after my business, I'm going to defend myself. It's my First Amendment right if we're going to talk about First Amendment rights here. So you make a video, you misrepresent everything, you misprice everything, you gloat and quote about all these prices and everything. That's fine. I don't give two shits, okay? But I do care, and I'm not going to stand behind, is the harassment, the slandering, the doxing that you have caused and that you have proceeded to completely back up and endorse. You are endorsing bullying. You are endorsing the harassment. You are the harasser. You are up here, and all your people are down below you, following the leader. The leader, Greg, the all-holy Greg. Everybody hails Greg because Greg's this massive YouTuber out of Florida who has a sports car and is a badass. You know, I don't give a shit anymore. At this point, it's like, you've invoked my family, you've invoked my business, you invoked my son now, and it's went way beyond personal. And you started this in March. So don't be mad when I have defended myself, and I'm going to defend myself, and I'm going to keep defending myself until this shit is put behind. It was very simple. Redact my address in the first video, we're good. Second video, uncalled for. Not going to deal with it, not going to take it. I am not going to be sat there and ran over by a semi-truck by an individual who has no idea on how to run a legitimate business, who has no idea on how to do or do things in a business. Until you have actually went and done things for a business, or you've leased your first space and you have a brick and mortar location, and you've got to deal with landlords, you've got to deal with maintenance, you've got to deal with employees, you've got to deal with the IRS, the Department of Revenue, workforce development, unemployment. You know, there's 900 million things after that. And the other thing I'm always going to remember now, because I just got this yesterday, he said in all of his videos how he's going to have to spend thousands of dollars with an attorney and he's not going to know what to do, and, you know, $6,000 is a drop in the bucket for him, and, you know, he's going to go after me, and, you know, I'm going to pay, and, you know, all these crazy, like, little funny things that he kept saying. You know, he kept saying how I'm going to pay and he's going to get me, and, you know, he's going to do whatever he can in his power to ensure that I'm this and that. And he said something very interesting. He said, that's what business insurance is for. I didn't have to pay for an attorney. But you just said in every single video, and you said to your audience, that if they want to support you and help you out, that they should subscribe to the channel, become a patron, or, you know, all this other stuff, and, you know, do the paid video service thing he's doing, which it looks like a scam. And that'll help him recover his costs. And I'm sitting here thinking, business insurance covers lawsuits and legality issues. Now, if you're not legitimately a business or registered like a normal business, you should have insurance to cover that. So wait, you just told me in a tweet that you have business insurance and it covered all your legal expenses, but now you're telling me that you paid thousands of dollars for an attorney? So which is it? Is that why you never came after me and sued me for, you know, whatever? Long story short, and at the end of the day, this is going to be a learning experience for Mr. Salazar, because you're not going to go after someone and not expect to get bitten back. You don't bite someone and not expect to get bitten back. You don't invoke someone's family or their friends or their business and expect repercussions in the end. And at the end of the day, you need to watch what you say about other people's businesses or them, because you can get sued. And I could still sue. The thing is that the case wasn't thrown out for lack of legality or lack of cause. It was thrown out for lack of jurisdiction, which was a complete bullshit excuse. And I could still appeal it in the higher courts. I have 3 years to do that. I can still refile on this incident for 3 years. I can save up the money, get an attorney here in Fort Wayne, and I could re-sue. And this time it wouldn't be in the smaller courts, it would be in the much higher courts where this would get upheld. Indiana does have clear-cut jurisdiction. Now, me not being an attorney, I was a pro se litigant, I was unable to apparently appease the judge enough, and I didn't offer enough money under the desk, to have him approve this case. And the judge's reasoning behind it was completely invalidated because the whole legality of it is his attorney the entire time we were in there was trying to find out the root and the reasoning behind the lawsuit. And that's not what we were there for. We were there for that attorney to prove lack of jurisdiction. The attorney wasn't trying to even prove lack of jurisdiction. He was trying to prove what the case was about. And there is many cases that where someone has sued a news agency or an article agency. There's one that I had quoted out of Washington, D.C. against a publishing company out of California. The Washington, D.C. business sued the publishing and the news article company out of California. The company in California had to come to Washington, D.C. and fight the lawsuit. Jurisdiction was upheld. They had to fight the lawsuit in Washington, D.C. because that's where that business was located. Obviously, all the case text that I provided was completely ignored, which is fine. You know, it cost me $100. Now, I know most insurance policies for small businesses or business owners is around $500 to $1,000 as a deductible. So in the end, he came out ahead because he made all the money from the ad revenue. He made all the money from YouTube, and he made about approximately $2,500 to $3,000, if not more, per video. And he had made multiple videos about me. The ones with the most views, he probably made about $3,000 a piece, so that's $6,000. And then the other two, he probably made, maybe $1,500 off of. So he made $9,000 to $10,000 just by me. Just me. So it's not about ethics. It's not about, right or wrong. It's a lie. And it's all fabricated so he can gain clout and gain viewers, make money, and then keep his channel steadily going up. Now, it's going down. And you can go to Social Blade and you guys can see Mr. Salazar's statistics. And I think people are catching on. He is down 1.079 million views in the last 30 days, 36.9%. He's down 58.3% in subscribers, 2,000 subscribers. So his stuff is plummeting. And you can see January he was doing pretty good. May, everything's going good. May 19. Let's get over here. Can I move this over? Let's see. This is weird how they do it. I hate how they do this. So he's going. May, June. April of 2019 is where he had the most views out there. 3,207,828 video views. Month in August, he had a bunch of subscribers. January, February, March 2017, April 2019, he had 19,138 more subscribers. March, he was super low. Minute he uploads the video about me, 19,000 subscribers. April 2017, not shit. The video here originally, April 2018, or no, that's 17. Let's go here. April 2018, he was 7,000 subscribers. You can see his stuff kind of fluctuates. It dropped really bad in October, which I guess is common. December, uploads a video about me, 19,000. It goes to show that I was used for clout. I was used for making money off of him. And I guess, Things don't lie. But I am going to continue pressing this issue. I am not going to be silenced. I'm not going to be bullied or harassed into thinking I'm not allowed to defend myself. And people telling me, oh, you shouldn't talk about it. You need to just let it go. When the stuff is still occurring and ongoing and I'm still getting harassed, I'm not going to sit down and just roll over and run, get ran over. And I'm not going to be manipulated or treated like I am not an individual that can talk. And I'm not going to be a victim of bullying and harassment and not be able to give my side of the story or give my view on what occurred. The fact that someone wanted to come after me and target me is wrong. And at the end of the day, I understand people make money, but at what cost is it okay to make money? And when he uses the comments of, well, I didn't tell them to do that and I never promoted or asked them to do that, you did indirectly. When you publish someone's information and you know that previously people came after someone or has came after someone, you should know right then and there you need to take it down. Someone disagreed with a tweet he just made the other day, and that person actually deleted their Twitter because his viewers started harassing him that bad. That's sad. And when your viewers are a bunch of toxic individuals and immature individuals, and they go after someone repetitively, that is sad. I'm going to end this video, but at the end of the day, you need to knock it the fuck off, Greg. You need to grow up. You need to take the shit down and call it a day. You made your money. I paid for you to have a nice house. Now you'll be able to ship your wife overseas. Enjoy. You just made a ton of money off of a small business, off of an individual who lost his son, and that your viewers in your channel went after my son, my business, and my family. My parents received letters. I received letters. I had my store vandalized. I received hundreds of death threats. Every single day I got a phone call, someone say, why haven't you shot yourself? I can give you an instruction manual on how to kill yourself. If you take a 12-gauge shotgun and you put it in your mouth and you pull the trigger, it can end it and you can be with your son finally. Most of the sick shit I've ever seen. And then he wants to say that I sent him a threat on Facebook and social media. One, I'm not that dumb. Two, the profile that he is showing or that is in that picture is a black profile image, which was probably one of the profiles that was made about me and my son, and that they used the black image with a skeleton body on it, and it didn't show up in the messenger and sent him that threat. It also doesn't make sense why my Twitter was hacked, my Discord was hacked, and I got my Discord account banned, and I lost a Discord server with 7,000 people in it. My Facebook was hacked 17 times in the 1 week period I was in the hospital with my fiance and wife, who almost died while giving birth to our son that we were going to lose. The entire time I'm in the hospital, people are hacking into my shit. I've got stuff going on. I'm getting messages on my phone. I'm getting phone calls, people telling me, oh, are you going to die? They had my personal phone number because you put it on the fucking page. You posted my personal cell phone number in the I'm officially being sued. That court document that you published is a non-public court document. That is illegal, and you will be held liable for that. So when I get all the money together and I finally get all this transpired and you think it's all done and clear, I'm going to have the money together. I'm going to have the good attorney that I need. And I'm going to ensure that you are held responsible, because all this shit, it's still up, and every day it makes more and more damages to my company. Every day I get another review. I had over 1,700 reviews, and thank God Google has been going through and getting rid of a lot of them, because without that, I don't know what's going on. And yeah, I'm struggling as a small business owner. We're having trouble making ends meet. Why? Because people see the Google reviews and they're like, man, I don't know if I want to go there. They've got a bunch of bad reviews, all this stuff. It's stupid. It's honestly stupid. Over a fucking Craigslist ad, I'm going to get death threats. People are going to make pages about my son. I'm going to be told that they're going to rape my fiance and kill her. And you want to talk about one measly threat that was sent to you by an unverified page, a page that has no validation to it, and 3, that wasn't me? You want to talk about one single threat. Oh, I'm going to kick in your door and put a bullet through your head. 1, I don't even talk like that. 2, I don't even own a gun. 3, I can't even have a gun. And 4, I don't even have the time nor the funds to even drive down to fucking Florida, which is a retarded-ass state to begin with, and it's going to be fun in court when I prove them wrong, because you're still coming after me. Why poke a bear when it's angry and you continually keep going after me? I'm going to be able to prove that in court. I'm going to be able to prove to the prosecutors, look, if this guy's in fear for his life and he's scared and, oh, this guy claimed he was going to put a bullet in my head, why would you continue to make videos about him and make stuff about him? Directly and indirectly tagging him and his business. You reshared the video in October that you put on the lawsuit update. You made sure you tagged my store. You made sure you shared it, and you had to make sure you checked in and shared the store info. And I'm just sitting here like, okay. If I'm a victim or someone's a victim of some kind of crime or assault or something that happens, I'm not going to sit there and say, yeah, I think I'm going to sit there and make another video about him. That seems valid. That seems like a logical thing. They're scaring me, but you know what? He's an idiot. He's a lawsuit. He's a bully. Look at this. Blah, blah, blah. Why do it? Why reply? Why did you even respond to me in my tweets? And why did you comment on my tweets? And why were you even looking at my tweets? First thing. I'm like, okay, you're on my Twitter profile and you're making comments about it. That makes no sense. So I just don't understand the thought process and common sense in that. I'm scared and in fear for my life. Let me go after the guy a little bit. Let me go talk some shit to him. It makes no sense. So it's just ironic. It's sad that a stupid Craigslist ad that was made for fun and entertainment due to another person in town. And I'm going to show you guys real quick why I did this. And I just want to put it for the record so we can sit here and just, get this all out of the air. Because I didn't make it for me, okay? I wasn't going to sell my machine. I haven't even sold my machine. I have my machine till this day. I've done a ton of work to it. I've got a 2080 Ti in it. I've got 64 gigs of RAM. I upgraded the processor to the i7 9700K. I've done a lot of work to it. I kept the machine because I do a lot of streaming. I do a lot of coding, video editing. I do a lot of stuff with my machine to the point where I need a bigger machine. I've got a dedicated server that runs all my information and stuff. So here is why. The backstory on this is an individual who sells computers locally. This machine is an i5-3470 processor. Okay? It has an RX 460 4 gig dedicated video card. It comes with a 19-inch LCD monitor. It has 8 gigs of DDR3 RAM, a terabyte hard drive, and a 450 watt Corsair power supply, DVD CD burner, and a Corsair Spec Series ATX mid-tower case. $745 for this system. $745. And it's using an OEM style board. That's an OEM style board. The most bare basic parts. They made a build that was similar to mine. It had the Thermaltake open air side case, the kind that you can hang on the wall. They had a build exactly replicable to mine. It had a 1080 Ti, but it actually had a CPU water cooling block and water cooling system mounted on it. And then it had zip ties holding it and hanging off of the metal bars that go to the plexiglass side. And it was all just hanging there. It was all zip tied together. It had all mixed matched RAM. It had 16 gigs of RAM. It had like a Hynix or an OEM series sticker RAM with no metal covers on it. And then it had like a G-Skill or a Kingston, a decent sticker RAM. It had a terabyte hard drive and a 128 M.2 SSD, and it had a 1,000 watt a Pevia power supply, I think it was, and it looked horrible. Same processor, it just looked horrible. And when I tell you it looked horrible, it was horrible. I mean, it looked scary. It had zip ties holding fans to blow on things, and like. It was kind of crazy. I wish I was able to get the screenshots of it then. So they had this build up for $15,000. These people had this build up, and this is not like their only ad that they have. They have multiple that are like kind of like what the hell. Like this one, i5-4570. It has a GTX 970, 8 gigs of RAM, terabyte drive, 500 watt power supply, $795. I can't tell if it's an OEM style board. They didn't really give any good side pictures. I'm guessing. No, it doesn't look like it is. But it's one of those tiny micro ATX boards. But this is not like their only system that's like crazy overpriced. 1060 video card, AMD FX 8350. It's got a 2 terabyte hard drive, 16 gigs of RAM, $1,075 for this build. That is why I posted my build on there for $6,000 with all of those peripherals that would like run laps around all the builds they post. That's the only reason why. I was not going to sell it, nor did I want to sell it, nor did I think I was going to be able to sell it for that, because people in Fort Wayne typically aren't going to spend that kind of money and not build their own build. I know my audience in Fort Wayne. I know my customers in Fort Wayne. And I know how Fort Wayne is. They don't do this. I maybe build 4 to 5 custom built machines a month for customers that want them built, and it's usually families and people that want like a cheap basic build for their kids to like get on and, you know, play Roblox, Minecraft, or Fortnite, you know, just really, really basic things. But I was not posting it to sell. I knew I wasn't going to sell it. This one is $700 pretty much. It has an i3 3240, 8 gigs of RAM, and an R7 370. And they want $700 for it. I didn't post it for that intention. I posted it for this kind of shit that I see in my area all the time. So that is the truth behind it. I didn't need to sell it. I don't need to sell it. I don't need $6,000 or to sell a computer that I use every day, all day, for many, many things. I don't need to sell it. So when people are telling me that, you meant to sell it, you were going to sell it, no, I wasn't. I really wasn't. I had other things I was doing, and it was more or less as a joke. So if you really want to see overpriced computers, Craigslist.org, Fort Wayne, Indiana, just look for Southwest Fort Wayne, Indiana. Then you can tell me the difference between my build and their build and the overpricedness, because this is overpriced. At the end of the day, I'm going to give my side of the story. I'm going to explain, and I'm going to show you guys the things I've gotten. If that offends you, or you don't like it, or you're going to stand up for Greg, that's fine. I understand. That's your First Amendment right. He is your friend. He's your buddy. Go ahead. Hoorah. Go after me. Tell me I'm a dickhead. You're an idiot. Go kill yourself. I don't care. I'm not going to kill myself because I have more to live. I have a family that I'd like to have. I want to have a child. I want to have my business prosper and grow. But at the end of the day, don't invoke someone's family. Don't publish their information, whether it's business or personal. Don't show their email address or telephone numbers. And just be a human being. That's the problem with YouTube and Facebook and social media. People don't have any human intellect. People don't have any human natural reactions to things now. Everybody's so morbid or crazy or off the rails on responding to people. If you're in real life with someone, are you going to sit there and talk about their son to their face that died? If you do, 9 times out of 10, you're going to either text it or post it on social media and hide behind a computer screen. You're not going to do that, to their face. It's just sad. And it just needs to be knocked off. We all need to grow up. You're a business owner. You're going to be a parent. Grow up. Gaining clout and recognition for making fun of someone's family is not the way you want to be known. And quite frankly, it is how you're known. The YouTuber that got sued and went after a small business and their family. And I'm going to give my side. I'm going to upload this video, and I'm not going to take it down again. I've taken all my other ones down because people started harassing me and going crazy and everything. At this point, I don't care, because I'm tired of the phone calls. I'm tired of the threats. I'm tired of having people call my phone. Like the other day, a lady called. My fiance answers the phone. Hi, is this the mother that couldn't conceive a child and carry it to its full-term birth? No joke. Lady did this. Her name's Liz Morgan on Facebook, or Lauren Morgan, or however the hell her name's spelled. We actually found her on Facebook because she started sending messages to us, and she lives in Indiana. So that was the other crazy funny thing. It's kind of like, wow, you literally didn't block your phone when you called me to talk shit on the phone, and then I have your number, and then you Google your number, and your an Ivy Tech school teacher too. So she's a college professor and teacher at one of the schools nearby. And of course, I sent that video recording to the school, and I sent the screenshots of the text messages she sent to my phone, informing me on the productive steps on killing myself. And it's all been sent in. So, good job. Guess we'll give you an F for playing undercover. But I appreciate everybody for watching. I did not expect this to be almost an hour long, but it is something I'm passionate about. I'm a small business owner. I've worked my ass off to get 5 years in business. Being a business owner in a state where there is a lot of computer stores is not easy. There is a lot of competitors in our area, a lot of competitors that are very bad, competitors that mark up their products 40 to 55% in price, competitors that pretty much will do a 275% markup on something just to make money off of it. One of the local competitors down the road from me, my grandmother, before I started getting into computers, and it was a lot of the reason why I got into computers, she had an HP laptop, and it had the Wi-Fi button that was next to the power button. It was an HP G60, I believe. It was a Pavilion. It had a silver top to it and a black keyboard. She had powered it on. She had accidentally hit the Wi-Fi disable button. Her Wi-Fi was disabled. She took the computer into the competitor. They told her it would be a few days before they can look at it. She waited 7 days. She finally got a call. She said, "Your Wi-Fi was disabled. We were able to re-enable it." She comes into the store, and the guy shows her what she did by hitting that button. They charged her $175 to hit a button and tell her that she just hit the disable button on her keyboard. That is the kind of competitors and computer stores we have in the area. There's another competitor that doesn't even put the computers back together all the way. I've had countless phones. They don't put all the silver plates down from iPhones, and people, are wondering why their screen starts going out or the screen starts becoming blurry or something because the little ribbon cables aren't covered up by the metal plate. That happens a bunch. I see so many machines brought in that where a competitor's done something, or they used an operating system disk and they use some kind of activator to activate it, or it's just, you wouldn't believe the things I see in competitors here. And one of my things I do is I always give better prices. We do free diagnostics, so if you bring in a machine, we'll spend 20-30 minutes looking at it, trying to diagnose it if you have the time to wait, and we'll tell you, this is what's wrong with it, this is what it's going to cost right in front of you. We're not going to take it back and wait a few days. And all of our services are done, if not same day, within 2 to 3 days, especially if we have parts on order. I have great distributors that I can get parts in within like 3 days max, and I always ensure that I get what I need done right. And that's something I've been able to separate myself from the competitors, is having better prices, faster service, and cheaper computers. I sell refurbished laptops and desktops. Laptops starting at $70, desktops starting at $40 for a Windows 10 desktop. You're not going to find that in my competitors. They're selling refurbished AMD B series processors, the business grade ones. They're like they're kind of like an AMD Athlon x2 unit. They're selling those units for around $149. We sell them for $49. They have Windows 10 DVD CD burners, 4 gigs of RAM, 500 gig hard drives, and they have a 30-day warranty. There's a difference in prices, and that in our area in Fort Wayne is pivotal because not everybody has $1 million to go buy a brand new computer. And if all they got to do is spend $50 just to get online, check their documents, or send emails, or even like an office, a small office that wants to get their clients and people set up with machines, that's where we come in, and that's what I do. And it sucks that this occurred. I've taken some lessons and I've learned a few things, but I am going to defend my business, and I am going to ensure that my business is not disintegrated by someone. And I do apologize if I've said things that were offensive or upsetting to people. I apologize that I ever originally flagged the first video and apparently upsetted him. But I am not going to take ownership of a second report. I'm not going to take ownership of the fact that he was sued. I had every right. He made a second video. That is why that occurred. And it is the only reason why he was given a lawsuit was because he created a second video to further slander and harass me and my business. And because of that, that is why those things happened. If he had not made the second video and he had just left me alone, we would have never been here and we would never be where we are right now. And all of this over a stupid Craigslist video, a stupid computer that was posted online. I've got a felony warrant out of Florida for something I didn't even do. A one-sided police report that literally the Florida Police Department took his report, took the screenshot he had and said, okay, put a warrant out. A felony warrant too, and it's aggravated cyber assault and stalking. And I'm sitting here thinking, how does that occur when he's the one making more videos about me? So it is what it is. We're going to see what happens. I have people working on this. I'm working with multiple people and multiple attorneys to try and get this handled applicably. Florida attorneys are very expensive out there. They're around 10 grand for just a decent. I'm not going to go for a 2 or a 3-star rated attorney. I'm going to go for the 5 or even better because my goal is to get this dismissed just because of lack of jurisdiction, lack of evidence, and hopefully we can get this squashed and wiped out and get it handled. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys.